What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to be reviewing Sleeping Giants, a science fiction novel by Sylvain Neuvel. The book starts off with a young girl named Rose Franklin who's riding her bike near her home when suddenly she falls through the earth and into the palm of a giant robotic hand. Testing shows that the hand is not made by humans and is at least 6,000 years old, which would predate any modern technology that we would have. Rose grows up to be a scientist and is put on the project to study the hand, its implications, and help the government find the other pieces of the robot that are scattered around the world and why it was put here in the first place. You might think that since Rose found the hand that she would be the protagonist of the story, but she isn't, which is really interesting. The story is evenly divided between four characters: Rose, Kara, Vincent, and Ryan, who are all some form of scientist or military position, assisting Rose on this project, studying the robot and how it may operate. Which brings me to another interesting part of the book. Most of the book is written in an interview type style where Rose and the gang are all being interviewed by a government official asking them about their progress on the project and their interactions with each other. So I'll put this as a disclaimer. This book is all about dialogue. There are rarely any transitional pages where a scene is described or set up for the next chapter. But that also presents a really rare opportunity to stretch out with these characters because most books don't have room to play with conversations like that. So if you don't like slow burn books, you may not like this one. I was skeptical at first, but I really came to enjoy it. Even though it's not my favorite type of way to read a book, it really works for this series. And I think my least favorite character is the government official that's doing the interviewing, whose identity remains a mystery throughout the entirety of the book. He can come across as really condescending at times when he's interviewing the cast. All right, guys, so today we're going to be making sandwiches. First, you take 2 pieces of bread, put mustard on one side, a little bit of mayo on the other side, take some bologna, some cheese, some turkey, take the other piece of bread and put it together. Now, once you have that sandwich made, you're going to take a bite of it, okay? And once you take a bite, you're going to swallow the food. Finish the entire sandwich, and there you go. Now, of course, that was a little exaggerated, but you get the point. This book is hard science fiction, meaning that it cares about the scientific accuracy of the statements that it makes, including the mathematics behind machinery and the atomic makeup of elements. Rather than something like Star Wars, which is soft science fiction, where they don't explain how their universe works scientifically, you're just supposed to assume that it does and not worry about it too much. For example, we use a base 10 numbering system, which means that we have 10 symbols to represent our numbers. We count 1 through 9, and then once we need to go past 9, we go back to 1 again and we add a 0. These aliens, they operate under a base 8 numbering system, which means that once they need to go past 8, then they go back to 1 and add any additional numbers that they might need to. So if we were to write the number 1, 2, for us, that would be 12 because the 1 stands for 10 and the 2 stands for 2 numbers past 10. For these aliens, if we wrote 1, 2, that 1 stands for 8 and then the 2 stands for plus 2. So for us, it's 12, but for them, it's actually 10. So you can see how difficult this would be for scientists because they have to do that in their head with large numbers very quickly in order to operate parts of this machine. The book addresses issues about humanity, what the robot implies for world religions, and also the fear of knowing that there's a species out there that is at least 6,000 years more advanced than us, and the powerful weapons they could use if they chose to. Overall, I really did enjoy this book, and it earns a 4 out of 5. This is only part 1 of the Themis Files trilogy, and I'm really looking forward to where it's going. I've already got book 2 waiting to be read. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next book review video. See you later. This book is hard science fiction. This book is hard science fiction. This book is hard science fiction, meaning that it cares about the science. This book is hard science fiction. This book is hard science fiction. I can't remember that word. Makeup. This book is hard science fiction, meaning that it cares about the scientific accuracy of the statements that it makes, including the mathematics behind machinery and the atomic makeup of elements. I finally got it.